Alright, hello everyone and welcome to another stream. Again, we have the usual stuff, 1d6 weekly workout. Last week I did not do an episode of this because I was playing over the board and I was also sick with some flu. So I do hope you'll forgive me, but this week I am back and the next episode is on. You know the format, we'll play like 15 to 20 games featuring the lines from the Chessable course, which you can of course check out using the Chessable command. And without further ado, let's get right into action by playing our first game. With white, we're going to go d3, and yeah, okay, we're gonna go knight bd2. Okay, bishop g4. Now we get some kind of a reversed, not London, but not even Trompowsky. But of course, we usually look at the lines with the black pieces. Now, we look for the white pieces. If we go e5, knight d7, d4, this looks tempting at first, but at second sight, if they go c5, knight c6, then they get the favorable version of the French because their bishop is already out. So that's not what we should do in this structure. I think the better alternative is to just finish the development with b3, bishop b2, and so on. b3, bishop b2, and then just go. An alternative is knight e5, just to get rid of some pieces. You can also go rook e1. Okay, I'm gonna go rook e1 first, just to try to open the file. If they ever go d4, I'm gonna go probably a4 followed by knight c4, securing the square. If b5, then I guess I should go a4, provoke b4. Or a6, but if a6, then I always have ideas of ab and rook a8 followed by d5. Maybe it's still good for my opponent. Okay, now it's time definitely to play knight e5, get rid of some pieces, and switch the momentum on the other side of the board. Now we're gonna maybe go f4 or here. This move I don't like for my opponent, but maybe he can do it, like takes, knight c6, queen somewhere, takes. This pawn feels so loose, but I cannot really attack it in a good way. Interesting. Okay, queen d1, I can just go back and then go knight f3 next move. Of course, I'm burning way too much time, so I should make a move before I lose on time. Got used to classical games. Oh, hello to Flow1981. Welcome. What's up in the chat? Not too many viewers. Okay, now when the rook is not on this file anymore, I guess I should open it and go either rook a7 or something similar. Also just play knight f3, get rid of this knight. I'll do this, get rid of this knight, but not with the bishop, but so that my bishop stays here in the long diagonal. But I'll trade it for the knight on d2, which was definitely way less useful. Yeah, now, okay, probably black is still fine, but at least my pieces are a bit more active than his. The rook is in the open file, the bishop is in the long diagonal. Yeah, d4 does block the bishop. But now I'm just gonna go here and then rook a1. My pieces are a bit loose, so I need to be careful about some double attacks. Okay, this move. I mean, I would like to move the knight somewhere so I can threaten e5, but it doesn't really work. Like knight f7 takes, e5, bishop e5. Doesn't look bad, but I will be stuck with this bishop, which is quite bad. I mean, I'm stuck with it anyway. Let's go knight g4 instead. Takes, and then I'm gonna try to double the rooks on the a file, and then later bring the bishop via c1 to some better squares. I'll probably lose on time in the meantime, but it's good enough I stopped caring about the results. Okay, let's go rook a1, double the rooks. If my opponent goes c4, then I can activate the bishop via this diagonal, so I don't really have to activate it via c1, and now it's active. Whether my opponent goes c3 or cd3, it will stay quite active. Okay, I'm just gonna go g3, h4, h5 maybe. I have 21 seconds, so just have to speed up no matter what. Of course, I'll be speaking less during this part of the game. Yeah, this is not ideal. I want to go here though. My phone is burning quite a lot of time, so I do have chances. Why didn't I go there? I'm go there now. Because the bishop is trapped. I just forgot that bishop c7 this hacks. Should have done this, of course, a move ago. No, it's not even. Oh, now it's clean. Okay. I'm losing this in time. Yeah, there was mate, but of course I lose in time. Anyway, oh, hello, Adrian. I'm doing fine. How about you? So the thing when they play like this, okay, here you have two choices whether to go for some kind of a Philidor setup, which I went for, or the alternative to go for something like this, or maybe knight e5 and seize the bishop, take the bishop pair, which was the line I played quite a lot of times before in these training games. So it goes something like this, for example, takes, then black makes a setup like this, and then you go bishop g2, here b3, bishop b2, and try to play for the long-term advantage of the two bishops. And yeah, in the game, of course, the position was quite fine, but then, yeah. Okay, here, I thought, after takes, knight c6, let's say queen c7, takes. I wasn't sure how to proceed because I cannot attack this pawn in a good way. If I go here, then I think they take and go queen c5, and the engine wants queen c5 immediately. And this one I'm quite unsure about because I also have a big weakness here, and there's also queen b4, knight c5. Feels a bit loose, but okay. And here, yeah, I was always in the driver's seat, but of course the time was a huge problem. I should go rook 8 immediately. Of course the position is completely winning. Here I was 100% sure my opponent would go here, but yeah, okay, then it's mate. And yeah, of course the endgame is completely winning, and in the end they also had mate in one, but yeah. Of course, I definitely don't care about the results. I tried to make it instructive. That's what this serves. Show me the speed. Hello, I'm playing the CRT qualifier. What's that? I don't even know what that is. So I'm not playing it. But you can tell me what it is. Okay, let's see how they fare. I don't think in like 4 sessions of this weekly workout, 1d6, I don't think we've ever had the King's Indian main line. And this is very good because now you get some new structures. And this early line with bishop f3, it's quite rare. Bishop g4, bishop f3, it seems like it makes no sense, but there's a big strategical point when you go h5. And next move, you go bishop h6 and get rid of this bishop. Queen b3 is one of the... Yeah, this stuff is one of the one of the best possibilities for white. It seems very logical, because if white lets me play b6 next move, then I'm winning strategically. I'll get bishop h6 and so on. But then they played this line with c5, and then if you take, then they have enormous counterplay after bishop b3. Of course, this is so covered in the chessable course. But this is one of the best tries. I think some GMs give it as a line for white. Still think it's very, very playable for black, because you'll get rid of the bishops anyway. You'll play knight c5 and so on. So, yeah, and here, if I remember correctly, we're supposed to go king e7. And then later on, put the knight on c5. Just 1 second. Champions Chess Tour qualifier. Oh, yeah, I don't play on chess.com. So, okay, queen c2. No, I will not play it. Don't play. I stopped playing chess.com. And I stopped playing mainly competitive online chess to see that I don't care about the results and so on. Okay, here I'm gonna go bishop h6. The alternative was, of course, to go queen d7 first and then wait bishop e3 and this, but then they would have bishop c5, white to give them additional options. And yeah, the whole point of the line is now, for example, I go back with the rook, then I'll play b6, queen d7, rook c8. And now, even though my king looks dumb, I got rid of these bishops. This bishop is not the ideal piece, and you have big strategical prospects. You have big strategical prospects in this position. Now my opponent is waiting for this so they can play knight d6 and trick me, but there is a solution for this, very simple one. We solidify everything. I did give up the c6 square with this, however there is nothing which he can use to come there to exploit the square. And now I'll just play rook c8, I guess. I'm not even sure if I need it on c8, but why not? And then I'll bring the king to g7, slowly but surely bring the king to safety. Maybe then I'll get rid of this knight and or reroute the knight to b4, and you build the you build the position strategically. So I do think this game is going to be extremely useful for people who are watching and who have maybe bought the course, because you can see how people can stuck with a bad position if they just follow these critical engine lines, and yeah, there's also big danger in this as well. Oh, hello to GMV Sharky. Great to see you too. I'm fine. Been playing really a lot of over the board games. Also, the new Chessable course I published is out on 1d6 with black, so things are very good. Okay, now I got rid of this knight for this knight, and what's left behind is quite a dumb bishop against my great knight. What's the best line here? If we take with the queen, queen b6. If we take with the rook, queen b6 again, takes. Huh. I mean, maybe I should just defend this one with rook a6 and play rook a7 next. That seems like the classy way to do it. Let's go here. Maybe queen c7 as well first, just to defend stuff. Or I can take knight a4 and go back as well. Maybe that's the simplest. Okay, let's take this. Again, I'm slow for no reason. There is no need to be so slow. Now it's a clean pawn up with better pieces. I'll go queen a4, try to exchange the queens. e4 is also hanging. Can I take e4? Probably yes, but I don't even see a need for this. I take... my last move was not needed. Or this move. Yeah, I don't know why I'm playing so badly. But it's time scramble, you'll forgive me guys. Hopefully. Let's go there. We might lose again on time, we'll see. No, I won on time. Wow, there's the first time for everything. I cannot hear the words. Haven't had possibility to try the things we looked for last year since I've had some problems in real life, but now it's much better. I hope that it won't last. I also had problems. So yeah. Anyway, c5, knight e6, or knight b7. Knight b7 is actually a little bit more precise, but you get the same thing. And yeah, the engine will give you some big advantage here in this line at the start, but then it will drop it to like 0-3 or something, which is absolutely very playable, and it has huge potential in the long run, as we have seen in this game. I just played very logical moves, got rid of this knight, and then black is just the one who is pressing for the whole game. If my opponent doesn't play b4, then I would probably go back, go rook f8, try to push f5 at some point, and build on from there. And like this, then it created a big weakness on a4. Of course, I made it very, very clumsy here. Maybe even not so clumsy. Maybe I played decently. And in the end, I didn't even lose on time. So yeah, I'm happy with this game. You get something to learn. You get a new line. And I got the win. Although it matters absolutely nothing to me. Okay, let's keep going. Maybe we'll get another one, because we have the same opponent with the same color. Let's go knight f6, c4. Practicing these lines is quite good. I hope my opponent plays something else and not queen b3, but they go queen b3 anyway. Okay, they go e4 now. This is something that is definitely not ideal for white, because I'll get in this anyway. So now I'll go knight b7. Now there is no more this c5 nonsense. And okay, my opponent does go some bishop d1. Okay. And I can play king f8 as well first, and then bishop h6. Doesn't matter all that much. Okay, let's do that. Because my plan is anyway going to be bishop h6 takes, and then king g7. And my opponent smartly plays something else, not bishop e3, not to lose a tempo. But again. And now the whole point is just you have this very nice square here. And you have the knights against this bishop, which you hope is going to be quite stupid. And now it's time to strategically open up. I'm not sure if I should go for c6 or not. The queen usually belongs on e7, so that it can handle f4 better. For example, if your opponent doesn't go queen b3, because my opponent went queen b3, then went back, but he also spent a move on this. Okay, this. Can also go c6, queen c7. Probably it's not so bad. Okay, let's go c6, because if I can open things up, then go knight c5, then it can also be quite good. Or maybe queen b6. You just play on the central squares, on the central dark squares here. If, for example, if takes, then you get a big idea of putting the knight on d4 later on, which I sincerely hope my opponent will let me play at some point, because that's always extremely good for black. If they long castle, then usually the plan should be to attack, which is of course very logical. How to attack though? With a6, with c5, a6, p5. There's so many tempting options. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm not sure if it's best. I just want to open up everything. Okay, this move I thought was not so good, because now I can go, let's say rook a8. This rook I might need here for the defense. And now just to go a6, b5. Because every move which you make in front of your king is an additional weakness, which you can try to exploit, which your opponent can try to exploit. I mean, Can I really not play b5 in a good way? It'd be surprising, but not impossible. Okay, I'm gonna go queen b4 first then. Now I might try to play knight b6, because then I will be threatening knight c4. Or I can go maybe knight c5 first, and then b5, and then when they take everything, go knight a4. Some tempting options. My king is definitely much safer. There's also knight a2, but then I'm gonna go here. Yeah, I mean, I would need way more time to play this in a perfect strategical way. Yeah, what to do. Let's try to go here before I lose on time. Maybe the other knight to put it on c5 or something. Bishop d3, I guess the only move. But then maybe I can play. How does this work? You can take this one or this one. There's some king a1. Yeah, that's a problem. I didn't see that. Okay. I guess they should go g5. Now I took away the mobility of my attack, and it's going to be a problem because I cannot push b5 anymore. Okay, I'll sacrifice something. It's surely not good, but I have 18 seconds. Try to make it good. Let's go b5. This is even worse than Tal style sacrifices. Is, I mean, even less correct. Oh, why did I go there? Okay. Now my queen is actually trapped. Wow. Yeah, this was very, very strange played by white, but it somehow worked. And I'm sure I had a great position at some point. Yeah. Very, very strange, but it made white made it work. Shelling, what's up? Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, strategically this was surely extremely good. Because you got even a better version than the main lines in the course. Black is immediately having a great position. Yeah, here I cannot possibly believe it's. Maybe I should have gone anyway here, and they don't need the rook for the defense at all. And yeah, here this queen b4 knight b6 plan was probably not good. I know I had knight a4 and knight c3. Didn't see that, as always. Rook c4, knight c4 wrong. Half of the moves were wrong, but yeah, then I trapped my own queen. Lovely. Yeah, the line is good, but I'm not a good player. That's the conclusion. Okay, let's keep going. That's game 3. Hello to Evelyn Jade. Hope that mine is better. I was playing sick for the last week, the Croatian Cup, so I barely recovered. So I'm not having a great day either. Thanks for the question. Okay, if they play for this one, you have two choices. You can go here, or you can go bishop e2. I'm gonna go bishop e2. I don't mind the endgame. I've played this endgame several times already with both white and black during this 1d6 weekly workout stuff. And then you just go c3 usually, bishop e3, or knight bd2 h3, and then take this one. It's quite a pleasant position because this bishop is quite stuck here. I don't know why they would give up even a tempo. Maybe they want to go e5, and okay, strategically it makes some sense because the bishop is here. However, there are big problems here with some of the other things in the position. The knight coming to d6 and very nicely being very nicely placed here on c4. So yeah, this is definitely. There's also, considering this is now a great version of the dodge, there is also potential to go f5 at some point and sacrifice this. Queen e2 is logical to keep the queens on the board. This is 7. Now I guess it's time for f5. Can also take, it's not bad. Okay, let's go f5 just to prove a point. If takes, then I'm gonna go bishop e4 and the compensation should be enormous. Otherwise I'm gonna go knight e3 and start pushing probably, or just start pushing immediately. Yeah, for example, if they make such a move, I mean, everything is very tempting. I'm gonna go a4 just to leave the knight here. And now, okay, my opponent now, there is this, and takes. If I go h4, then there will be knight g3 in that line. Maybe I should take first. Okay, let's take first and then go h4. The whole point of my strategy is to create more light squared weaknesses. Here after bishop g4, because I have the light squared bishop, my opponent doesn't. When have I started playing chess? When I was, well, when was my first tournament? I was 6 or what? So that was a long time ago. I'll just say that. Okay, I'm gonna go bishop g5 just to activate the bishop. f4 is a possibility for my opponent. Maybe not such a bad possibility. Maybe I should not have allowed this at all. But what is done is done. Okay, now I'm gonna take here. If rook takes, then I take the bishop. If queen takes, then I get the d file and the d6 square, which is more important than that. And I'll also need to include this and the knight at some point. How do I do that in the best possible way? Rook d5, rook d6. Feels like I messed the position up somewhere. Probably the best now is to take here and then go some queen d2, queen d7, because now he cannot parry the d file with rook d8, and then when I get my rook to the 7th rank. Okay, now I will play a5, because if takes, there's queen d8, take, and then the knight will hang in the end, and that will leave the b7 pawn a target in the future when I go queen d7 next. And a very important thing you can notice is that my opponent's knights are extremely like restricted by my pawn structure, and my knight is in a good place. The bishop is not ideal, but it will improve probably. Okay, so now my opponent wants this. I mean, I guess I go knight d6, queen b7, right? Knight e8 is a threat, so again, I might lose in time, but who cares? This is all about learning, nothing about the result. No, I cannot take. There is rook d6. I have to take with the knight then. However, I won't complain too much about that, I guess. Mostly because I have no time to complain. Okay, let's go h5. I want to provoke here and then go here with a check. Rook d6 maybe. Then I can take. There are lots of nasty ideas. Oh, didn't see that move. That's a problem. Then I have to go for this. It's actually not a problem. Just didn't see that I'm still winning. I'm not seeing many things. I do hope you'll forgive me for that. Usually I'm playing better chess. Usually I'm playing better chess than I am right now. Yeah. On these weekly workouts, but what can you do? It's usually playing faster. No, come on, where is the checkmate? What about knight d6, queen c4, queen e6 instead of bishop f6? Good point. So yeah, I'll analyze. I'm usually analyzing the game, so I'll do that now as well. Here we get kind of an amazing version of the reverse dodge, because your opponent has not developed anything and gave up the bishop pair, and you have done everything. Queen e2. I mean, I wanted to keep the queens on the board. There is no real need. Maybe the endgame is just very good. Indeed, f5 had to be good. Yeah, here taking was good, h4 was good. Maybe it was all fine. So you meant here instead of bishop f6, knight d6. Yeah, it's also quite good. If you go here and then queen e6, you're completely right. This was a viable alternative, but I just wanted to keep the d file under control, because then my opponent's both rook and knights are just... I don't see how they're going to ever become active. And here I thought I blundered at some point, but there was queen c6. Rook g6 is even better. Oh well. Yeah, this was a decent game. I'm not playing that badly, but I'm just losing half of the game sometime. Okay, there are not that many viewers this season, this episode. Maybe that's because I was not here last week or something. Just 1 second. I need to check something. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. We can continue normally where we have stopped. It's 4 games I've played, so there's tons of more to go. c4, d6. Yeah, now we got this Reti, which we've also had countless times before, but still, you'll get this one very, very often, I think. Yeah, you'll get this one very, very often, I think, in your own games. So it's maybe very good to get some experience in it. Yes, so my opponent will try to attack this pawn with some knight a4 or so on. Do I want to play against this in this setup? If I play some knight c7, knight a4, this hangs, and then knight b6, and I lose the bishop. Guess, but bishop e6. I mean, I'm not sure. I'll play bishop e6, but this move I'm not sure about. There's d5, and if I take, this is wrong strategically. So my idea is to play bishop d7 back, and then just try to claim that now there is no more pressure against this pawn and on e5. But then again, I gave up some time. So who knows if this is actually any good. Anyway, now I get the square on c5 for the knight, which is definitely an achievement. And now probably queen b6 or bishop b6 is the alternative. There is no need for bishop b6 yet. Maybe I'll go here as well. I don't know. This is now maybe a potential, maybe a threat. I don't really think it's a threat. I mean, both possibilities make sense, but I'll play bishop b6, just so it's more natural. And also f5 could hang after queen c2 if I go to e8, but I don't know, maybe the other one was better. Okay, how to build from this position? It's knight e4 possibility, knight e4, I'm not sure. I need that. I'll play rook d8 first, just to solidify a bit here. f4. This is double-edged. I'm not sure if it's good though. Might be good. If I go e4 and get the square, knight d4, bishop c8. And I kind of like this. Not 100% sure about it, but I restrict the bishop, I get this square, and also if the knight comes to d4, I'll be able to chase it away with c5 later on, while my opponent cannot really chase. chase my knight from d3. Maybe with bishop f1 later. I would like the bishop here, but f5 was hanging, so it was not possible. Wait, why am I not winning? I wish you would tell me why. Okay, go here. Oh, I should have gone to any other square. Come on. Am I really so bad in chess? Apparently, yeah. Or just not focused. Maybe I can comfort myself like this. Yeah, queen c7, I'm just winning, and because the pin remains, and queen a7, there is this attack. Okay. You've seen worse from me, I'm pretty sure. Ugh, what a disaster. And after all of this, I'm still not worse. That's the sad part. Probably. Maybe I am. Because I have knight g4 after takes 6. Oh, but I don't have time. That's a problem. So my opponent also has several problems to solve. Was not ideal to trade the rooks. Should not have done it, I guess, but the time situation, that's what always costs me. I wanna go here, I guess. Yeah, my last move was bad, but what to do? Maybe I should just make the draw. Before I lose some time. I was dead winning this game, of course. If I don't win, it's not about the openings, because 1d6 is good, but it's about me. Yeah, maybe I should go e4. d4, there's d5, and then I'm not sure. But okay, bishop e6 is probably fine as well with bishop d7. Take, queen d2, knight c5. By the way, is everything good with the stream? Like the audio and so on. You can hear me, see me, and so on. There is bishop c5. I didn't see queen c5, knight a4, and then c6 hangs. Yeah, I didn't see that. Engage one now, surely the one who has the upper hand. Bishop c5, of course, disaster, but yeah. And then with one move, I put my opponent back in the game, and I'm still not worse. Yeah, so surely winning, and then yeah, there's no need to go e3 if I just make normal moves, go for the pawns. It's winning, but with 10 seconds, it's kind of hard. Everything is fine, okay, except my play, of course, but actually my play is also not so bad, but I'm just very slow because I don't care much about the results. At least I hope it's instructive. Okay, d4, d6, c4, e5. The English rat. Let's see what they do. Do they take? Do they go knight c3, knight f3? Usually they go knight f3, the main line, and then if they go to d2, then I'm already very happy. Now I go here, c6. Next move I'll play d5, I guess. And then what? Bishop e6 probably. And now I get kind of a great French because this bishop, well, is not great. Here, queen d7 is fine. Queen b6 is also probably quite good. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to d7. Now I might have a problem with this knight, but white also has a problem to deal with. I'm threatening this and b5, And if they take here, then I take and I get this c6 square. So now without the b3 square, this knight has a problem because it cannot go to b3 anymore. And where else is it gonna go? I cannot possibly believe this is good, but so e3, knight b1. A problem. No, okay, so here. Oh, maybe cd is the point. And then if I take here, it takes chuck, king h1, take. I don't believe him, honestly. So let's see. Knight b1. Ah, no, maybe it was not ideal to go there. Maybe I should just take first. Yeah, why didn't I take first? Should have just taken first. This one was good. I think my opponent should have gone knight b1, takes, and queen d1, just defend this. And then take e3 next. Because this one, I mean, he does have some counterplay, but he'll get bishop. I was wondering a bit about queen b7, but I don't think it works. Anyway, now I need to go here to stop this and then develop later on with b7 and castles. Queen c4. I thought queen c2, queen f5 is better, but I've been wrong before. Might be wrong again. And now if I manage to castle, go knight a6, it's a clean piece up. Here. Guess I should take in castle, but it does give up the e4 square. Interesting. My opponent is searching for counterplay in decent ways. Then I'm gonna castle. If takes, well, then at least I have the blockade. And if here, then I'm gonna go knight d5. Take, and then my knight gets the c6 square. So even though I will lose a pawn, I'm still a piece up. And I get rid of some of my opponent's strong pieces. Yeah, this is the reason why I maybe should have played f4 instead of knight c6. I don't think it should be too big of a problem. Okay, let's go here. Rook d2, I need to activate the rest of my pieces. I'm gonna go here now. Bishop d5, so I guess I should not have done this. I should have taken b2 immediately, but okay, I'll take b2 now. Igranje rapid šaha, ja mislim, ne doću preveliki cajtnot, kao što ja radim ove partije. I pazit na taktiku uvijek. Oh, I don't have time again. b8, I guess I can go here. And I'm really not careful with the time management. Okay, let's go here, trade off stuff. Oh, now I dropped the bishop. Okay, I think the point has been proven. If I'm better with black after 6 moves, and then yeah, of course, winning after 10 moves, but I should of course take on c4 and then on d4, not play e3 first. But this was knight b1, this was not so good, because after takes here, yeah, bishop e3 is coming next, so I'm not in time with f4, nor with knight d5. And then the engine says it's still fine, but, and this was of course completely winning for me all the time, until it was not. Maybe I should go f4 here, just to block the bishop, but it was fine. What I played was also fine, up to a point, I guess. Here there was rook b1, which I've seen actually. I fought queen d4, but no, there is this, and 7 is a problem. Yeah. Anyway, the rest was of course completely winning, but with 5 seconds on the clock, you don't win these positions. But let them have their points, and half a point if it means something to them to flag. So this was this shows why I'm always very happy when I see d4, d6, c4. I think that's already quite promising for black, as weird as it sounds. Okay, actually, I want to play some higher rated. I want to play some higher rated opposition if I can. Maybe I'll have time to talk to the chat. What was that? Game that was only 6 games. Then I'll play like 10 more. I don't know. Maybe I'll stick with 15 games or so. Okay, let's play against the GM. GMs are usually weaker than untitled players on Leech House. That's my experience, at least. Now we got kind of a reverse London, but this is already a line I should be quite happy with, both with knight e5 and just bishop e2. Okay, this time I'll go here and just take the bishop. Next move, similar to the first game I played today. Okay, I'll just take the bishop immediately. Just play g3, bishop g2, b3, and try to make my bishop pair work in the long run. I'm already relatively happy here. Yeah, this one. Okay, I'll take with the knight. I just want to play the pure endgame, because I feel like if I play the pure endgame, then my bishop pair is going to be bit easier to use than if it's more pieces on the board. Okay, I'm gonna go here, bishop c5, f4, and then just slowly but surely bishop e2, bishop d2, rook d1. No rush. Just play the position. Yeah, here I'm gonna go bishop e2. I mean, g5, g4 is important to stop, I think, so that my opponent doesn't get a chance to oh, but h4 there is g5, that would allow it. Well, I'm gonna have to go f4, but I don't think that's a problem of any kind. And now, okay, bishop e3, there is bishop c5, so I'm gonna go h4 first. That way I don't have backward pawn. 5 is good as well, bishop f3. There is my opponent can maybe play e5 there, but I don't think it's a problem either. But e5, knight d5, there will be some bishop c5, and d4 square is a problem, so I'm gonna go here. e5, then I'll just either take and go e6 or play bishop e3. Should not be that big of a problem. Yeah, now, okay, let's... Oh wait, this is a problem. Bishop f2, I didn't see that. Anyway, I'm gonna go probably rook h3 then, and hope everything is fine, which it might be, might not be. I just want to destroy my opponent's activity and then play for some long-term endgame with the bishop pair, if that is going to be possible. No rush, no tactics, nothing too wild. E5. Okay, first of all, I'll kick the bishop. It's the first thing I'll do. Then when it goes back, I'll take knight d7. Now probably should go here. Bishop g5 is a good alternative, and then bishop g4. My opponent just resigns. Why? Okay, I understand bishop g5 has to go some f6, but I need to resign just yet. Yeah, but immediately, as also in the London, also if you remember in the London, when I've been playing the London, and then d4, d6, bishop f4, then you go knight d7, and if they go e3, immediately go e5. This is even better because you're a tempo up. So yeah, just get a great position. Maybe I was supposed to... Oh, bishop g2 first. That makes sense as well. But even this endgame, maybe the engine will give it as equal, but I still think black has to be extremely careful because of the two bishop potential. It's just playing slow moves. Okay, rook h3 looks dumb. Bishop e1 is also not so bad, but it does give up this bishop pair advantage. And yeah, now at e5 there is like bishop g4. I wasn't so sure. Wasn't so sure about this because if I go here, then there is knight e5. But I can of course take and then place something where this pawn's going to be a problem. But I would probably go bishop g5 actually, not bishop g4, because now if the rook moves, now it's a much bigger problem. There is no more king b8. And then f6 is a must, but then it's not only two bishops, but it's the bishops and the pawn. So yeah, usually, I mean, you already know that I always have better results in positions against GMs than against untitled, so that's nothing new. The chat is not having too much fun today. Yeah, usually there were way more viewers, so I was keeping the streams on for a longer time, but today I'm probably not gonna do that. I'll probably make 15 games and that's it. Let's just go here, bishop e2. This we have seen a million times before. Let's go e4 to stop b5, then they go here, go h3. Bishop b3, take, knight bd2, b4, queen e1. So we have really seen so many times before. Yeah, if bishop here, we were going f5 immediately. Okay, let's go queen h4. I think I've had more or less this exact position a week or two ago, and the point was bishop c3, then you go knight g5, and after h5 there is this, and after knight f6 there is takes, then followed by rook f6 and queen h7. Oh. Okay, this one, first of all, if I take the queen and go knight c4, it's strategically very good because this bishop is blocked. However, what if I take here? If queen h4, then I include this, I'm a pawn up. If hg, knight g5, it looks like mate. Knight f6, rook f6. fg, knight g5, rook f1, h6. That's the point of my opponent, I guess. Maybe I have d4 then. Okay, I'm gonna go fg. Fg is probably first. Then I'll take a little bit of a think, because there's also bishop g5, followed by knight c4. Also, it looks quite good, but I'm curious about this knight g5. I don't really want to be pinned. Even h5 is no good. Okay, let's go here. And then knight c4. And you can see both of these bishops, and the knight is very restricted. Let's go knight c4. My opponent will probably go queen e7. Yeah. Now if we go knight e3. Not sure if it's too good. Okay. I'll go here knight d5, or at least try to go here, or to g4, depending on what my opponent does. Okay, they go there. Maybe it's time for knight g4. I feel like there is some tactic with g4 working, but if I burn 1 more hour on this, then I'll lose some time. Okay, who knows? Who knows what's going on, but I just want to have some fun on this stream. And, anyway, no one else is having fun in the chat, so at least I might have some fun. So takes, bishop c4, king h8, then I'm gonna go knight g4. Bishop g4, bishop g5, knight g5 with some threats, I hope, with knight f7 and so on. I don't know if it's actually too good. No, this one should not be. Should not be ideal. So wait. h6, knight g4. Yeah, who knows what was going on in this game? Who knows what's still going on? I don't have time. Probably would be one was better or something. I want this square. Not sure about anything. Okay, now I'm gonna go here, I guess, and take. I've seen until here. I thought it's very good because I'm gonna go here and knight f6. And there is no mate. Maybe I don't need it. No, wait. There is this. I don't have to pre-move nonsense. Maybe there is mate. Oh well. That was good. Hello to Sasha. Yes. I'm only playing this position. I think it's position 510. I'm not sure. Okay, this one we have seen. This one we have seen many times, and we have seen after bishop b7 that f5 is good. For those of you who have not seen it, there is a YouTube comments, check it out. There, it was in the 2 weeks ago, I think, in the series, the episode number 4. The bishop b7 was paired with f5 and then with queen h4. Because bishop c3, there is knight g5. Knight g5 immediately. Let's see what kind of nonsense the engine is going to say. Bishop g4. If anyone actually plays this in an over-the-board game, I would be very, very surprised. So how does it work? Take, f6, then fg. Lovely. Bishop f6, still fg. And then there is knight. Everything is so easy with the engines, right? Knight g5 and then bishop g4. I mean, I played the logical moves. Knight g4 was apparently better, but knight g4 I thought takes and then something. Oh, sorry. H5 probably I thought. Okay, maybe his pieces are just so badly placed that everything is winning. The engine likes d4 as well. Actually played a decent game. Even d5. Strange, but okay. If you know the plans, if you know the structure, the plans, and the strategy behind the structure, that's why this course is really good, because it's very easy to learn this kind of strategical ideas behind the lines. So yeah. Hello Twingo. Which move is more likely to appear in an actual game? 100 castles checkmate versus 100 b takes a1 knight. Probably castles checkmate. I'm not sure. My plumber finds bishop g4 while sleeping. I'd like to meet him. Okay, that was game 8. Let's keep going. Now we got a reversed Philidor, I guess, which I'm happy to see, because today we have not had any Philidors. Okay, a5, I'm gonna castle here. And now I'll play this line with takes and knight e4, or if queen takes, then knight c4. I think this is more efficient when you're white and tempo down, because you open up things immediately. Then the c6 line, which is the alternative in the course in the Philidor, is less forced. And here, when it's more forced, the more dangerous and open the position is, the more important the tempo is. The more one tempo means. In some close positions, one tempo doesn't mean much, but in some open positions, the tempo is the difference between a win and a loss. Okay, once I've had this kind of a structure already. It was a week or 2 weeks ago. I went for this one with takes, and then I went knight e3 and d5. And I remember it was very good, so I'm just gonna repeat that. Yeah, here. And then some d5, I think, and then rook c1, and aim for the c7 pawn. Target that with everything we have. Can play one e4 and get your repertoire, kind of. Can play, for example, e4, c5, t3, and then you get your repertoire. But after e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d3, it's also fine. But it's a bit different against the Caro, because after e4, c6, d3, okay, maybe we can get it there as well. But if you play e4, d6, then you have a problem. Okay, so if we go here, knight there, rook c1, either that or maybe start with rook c1. I don't think anything's gonna escape. Yeah, here. No, wait, now I have a double attack, no? I guess I can take stuff immediately, which would definitely be beneficial. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this line. When you have reversed colors, it's just very dangerous. Of course, you still need to win, but at least having a winning position should help. The hardest position to win is a losing one, so. Okay, I'm gonna go bishop c4, knight e5, just to try to quickly. Oh. Yeah, bishop e6 might be good. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go queen e5 then. try to play some endgame. Let's go here. If king defends, I take. If rook defends, I probably take as well. No, I'm just gonna go knight c4 actually, because if takes, oh well. Actually, I should not explain too much, I don't have time to do that. So let's go rook d1, d5 then. I'm messing up quite a lot of these positions, unfortunately. It's probably still fine. Now I need to remove the knight from d5 and then it should be relatively easily winning. I'm hoping they take and then... Oh, that's a small problem. Didn't see that move. Now I probably lose this game on time. But the opponent game might be winning. Hopefully. I don't think it's winning though, but it might be. Let's see how fast my opponent can flag. Quite fast, I guess. Oh well, congratulations. What can you say? So the good thing is, the good thing with this line is, of course, whenever you have a reverse system, it's quite dangerous. But when you have an open reverse system, it's even more dangerous, because simply the potential of everything opening up and you having a better development. Yeah, f6, bishop e3, d4 immediately. But I think this is better, honestly, because you immediately get everything with a tempo with knight e3. Okay, rook c1, and then yeah. I was winning after 15 moves. Of course, the time situation costed me as it cost me in half of the games, but who cares about the results? Who cares about the results? Besides, you see when you have an opponent who is only interested in flagging, and when you have an opponent which is interested in playing a game. Should have gone to d1. On d1 it's better, yeah, sure. Because like this I gave up a tempo, so my opponent is in time with rook f7, rook d7. I was curious, was this actually losing? I didn't think this was actually losing after g6. Yeah, it's just a draw. Oh well. I'll see how this episode will be on YouTube. Will there be demand for this and all of that? Because I might it might be my last episode of D6 weekly workout, and then I'll probably finish the whole job and marketing of the course and everything, and popularizing 1D6 with one more video, which is going to be about all the times I've played it over the board, like 20-25 games, where I'll analyze it, classical rapid and blitz, and then I might just focus on coaching and self-work and playing. Come on, go e4. Let's have the main line. Good. Bishop g4. This is going to be good for learning. Bishop d3. This cannot possibly be good. That's the only thing I know. Why? Well, probably because of this. Because now, if t5, knight t4, then I'll destroy my opponent's pawn structure. If bishop e3, now I can play this one. And after t5, why? I managed to guess a single move by my opponent in this game. It's going to be a surprise. Let's go here. Force the knight back, then I'll... Oh, this exists. Wow. Interesting. Half of these moves would never occur to me. But anyway, still think I have a great position, honestly, because the pawn structure is destroyed. My bishop is a bit passive. But hopefully I'll be able to open it up or trade it with bishop f6 in some moves. b4. Because if I'm left with the knight in f4 against this bishop, then I'll be very happy. Probably sacrificing the exchange is good, but I never sacrifice if there is no real need. And I'll continue with that. It's just my playing style, it always was. It always has been. They should go king h1 probably or something. Trying to defend the position, but I might go queen c8, queen h3 as well. This queen is so much out of play. Okay, now it's getting into play. Still, I'm gonna go here and queen h3. The alternative was to go queen e7, bishop g5, but there is queen d2 maybe. Okay, let's go here. Let's go queen h4. Now I want this. There is no more queen d2. If I can get in this and knight f4, then I've achieved what I wanted strategically. Maybe. Maybe not. Takes, king h1, knight f4, rook g1. I mean, still, it's strategically it looks amazing, so I'll still do it. Although it's not winning. Why to think, like, queen g2 is undefendable unless you do this. Okay, now I have to go here. Oh man. Very funny. It's one of these games. Okay, so in this line bishop d3 is immediately like, I've never seen this move before. I've only seen bishop e2 and bishop e3. Everything else is immediately really good for black. That includes this one. And after knight c6, bishop e3, and knight b5. I mean, it's like, apparently I was supposed to take on f3, knight c7. What have I even done wrong? Queen c2, queen c8. Bishop g7. Ah, bishop g7 is immediately winning because you get knight f4. And yeah, here there was, of course, some brilliances with bishop f5. And then, of course, I'm lost, but somehow I didn't lose. For some reason. Not the most instructive game, that's for sure. Let's play d3 then. Now we'll play this kind of a reversed King's Indian attack. And I'm gonna go for the line with knight h4 and f4, which is a rare sideline, but you can still play it at some point. The point is just to open everything up and then with f4 and then bring the knight back and try to launch an attack here. Need to put it back before I need to put the knight back before I push the pawns. Is this any good? Can't say I'm convinced that this is too good. There will be some queen b3s and rook e1s, and this pawn might be very loose. Very loose quickly. Okay, let's take. I want to see what they take with G or E. Both have their drawbacks. Queen takes is of course the worst, and there would be a lot of things. Okay, now there is queen a4. There is bishop d5. There is queen b3. There's like 20 different interesting things. Let's put the queen here. Attacking the knight. Some rook c8 I suppose will be played. And then I'll probably go rook e1. With the threat of rook e6, which is pretty primitive, but I think also pretty efficient. And that's why I guess my opponent goes for this, but now there is this with knight f7 and 20 different things. Wait, there is knight h7. Probably knight e5 is stronger, right? Or maybe not. Knight e5. Yeah, who cares? I'll just take d6 first and then I'll take this one. Yeah, this was quite efficient. I don't think there is too much need to analyze, so I'm just gonna go for the next game. Yeah, in this line, after castles, bishop g2, the core suggestion is b5, a move I also played in the Croatian Cup last week. Knight d2. And now I guess I should go d5 because they spent a move on this. What's the right strategy here? Probably c6, queen b6, and so on, maybe with bishop f5, similar to what I played in that game. I don't want to commit to bishop b7 yet, because I might put the bishop either on b5 or on a6 later on. Yeah, e4, now I guess I should take it. Interesting. I guess I should not make too much of too many nonsense moves. Just go bishop e6, bishop d5, trade off the bishop, and play this position. Okay, let's go knight b7 first, I guess. I don't mind takes because then in the Carlsbad structure, my bishop is just gonna be a little bit better than my opponent's. Okay, let's go e6. I want my opponent to play c4 actually, because if they go c4, then when I take, this d4 pawn is going to be it's going to be a bit of a problem, I hope, for my opponent. And this one, now I guess I should go c5 and try to open up my bishop. Or maybe go c4, because then this one's going to be a problem for a while. Okay, rook c8, but they don't really want to go c4, right? Because c4 I take, and then d4 is going to be loose, for example. c4 take, and I take twice, and then my knight comes to c5, and it's better than the bishop. Okay, let's go queen b6, maybe queen b7 is now going to be good. I actually blundered some stuff. Knight e5 there is, and if I take there is bishop d5, the intermezzo. No, this one should not be right. Now I take this one. I always thought this one should be really good for me, but maybe I'm wrong. Because this knight in c5 is basically untouchable, and the pawn is, because of that, not something to be afraid of, and I just get a very, very comfortable endgame here, I think. Which I can never lose, because of the good knight against the bad bishop. Yeah, this I've seen, but so what? Okay, so queen d3. If I can do it, I should, but there is queen e5. No, then I can see. Okay, let's go here. The point is just to play this endgame out, and I think I'll have a very good blockade. With the knight on c5 and the pawn on e5, and the e5, my opponent's king will not be able to cause any damage, and I'll try to do something with 4 against 3 on this side of the board. Okay, let's go king f8. If king e2, then I'm gonna take this one. Let's go to e5 now. I just want to attack, and my king is now very close. Now I can maybe start taking stuff. Okay, let's go here. Now I always have knight d6 if needed. And now with the active king and everything else, I think it should be really, really good and very easily winning, actually. I'll put the pawns in the dark squares so that my opponent's bishop cannot attack them anymore. My opponent helps me with that, which I don't think he should be doing. Okay, let's go e3. Doesn't matter all that much now. Everything is completely winning because I have a free route in the dark squares. Oh, let's go here. Free. Almost a stalemate, but not quite. Yeah, this I also don't think we've had the structure with b5. We didn't really have it in these training games, but knight d2, d5. And yeah, the position is quite comfortable because white can never get in c4 in a great way. Let's say they play c4, take 6. Now you usually should play something like bishop a6, queen b6, develop like this, then maybe knight b7, or even include a5, bishop a6, and usually this bishop is not ideally placed on b2. Black has solved his opening problems relatively easily. And yeah, with e4, similar thing. This is what you play against. And yeah, the position was quite comfortable all the time. Maybe I didn't play it in the best possible way, but it was never in question who is playing for a win. Okay, the engine gives zeros, but these are zeros which only I can win. So it's not always about the objective evaluation. Often it's about understanding what this evaluation means. Very often, endgames which are 0-0 have big winning chances for one of the sides. Okay, that was game 12. We'll play some more then. Let's play d6, knight f6. We finally got one Philidor. The first one today. We got the one with knight g2, c6, b5, a3, and yeah, this line is what I'm always very happy to see. Go bishop e7, go a5. h5 is important to play here in order to stop your opponent from going to e4, and then you just play your normal stuff with a5, maybe b4 later on. If they stop you by going b4 themselves, then the square is all yours. Okay, so now let's calculate tactics. b4, take, queen a8, rook a8, bishop a8 probably. Knight d1, knight e4, knight b4, then this b4 pawn hangs in the end. Still kind of like it. I'm not sure if this is any good, but let's see. Knight e4 was the idea. Now after bishop e4 I take this one, and after bishop e7 knight d2 takes, I think I can take this one in a good way. And this one b4 hangs. This is what I was talking about just now. This was the position I had in my head. And if I go c5, the problem is my opponent defends this stuff. So what should I do instead? I'm just gonna cancel. This does not work. Hopefully. Yeah, but now after takes, what happens if I go c5? Here, I go here. In c4, first of all there is d5 followed by knight b6, maybe there's knight b6. This should win, if I'm not insane. There's also knight e5. With knight e5, queen a4 could be a problem. So knight b6, d3. No, there's nothing better, so I should go just t5, no nonsense, and go knight b6, right? Bishop f7, rook f7. I guess this is best now. Or maybe also knight e5, I didn't even see that, but it also should... Actually, wait, knight e5 is going to come under problems, because when my opponent moves the queen... No, it's not, there won't be problems, right? Queen c5... I don't think there are problems. Queen c5, there is bishop t5. I should not take with the queen, but with the bishop. And now I have to take with the queen. This is what I wanted to avoid, but yeah, for there is knight f3, so it should be still fine. Here, my knight is very clumsy, but I think it will be able to escape to d4. Okay, now it's a clean piece. It's a bishop pair and for only one pawn, and when I mean a bishop pair, my opponent doesn't even have a knight for it. So, I mean, does it matter? No, probably not. This seems quite okay. Just go here. This was good, I think, but let's see. This line with knight g2 and then g3 is very, very, like, I'm always happy to see it. I think black is already fine. They should, if they want to play for an advantage here, they should go h3 or try with f3. But g3 is the, I won't say worst one, but the one which gives the least problems to black. Yeah, before maybe it was not needed. Maybe I should have castled. Castles is surely fine, but before was somehow ambitious when he played queen d2. Then I thought it should work because bishop b7, knight d2 is fine, and this one with queen b4. I mean, I have the two bishops, and this knight is on b1, so I have a better development as well. Yes, d5. Yeah, it was all very good. Okay. This game I'm happy with. Hope you're happy as well. Okay, 2 or 3 more, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Radio to someone, put this on YouTube, and probably tomorrow I'll make this big video analyzing all the games I played over the board using my course. And then I'll see if I'll make this one, these 6 weekly workouts anymore or not. Let's go knight to3, bishop e2. See if they go for the Philidor. Or bishop c5, which is also very possible. Knight g6. Yeah, against all of these systems, I've always said to play this stuff with c3, b4, a4, seizing as much space as possible here. Then they're gonna go for their lines with f5, pushing the pawns on their king side, and while they're doing that, we're gonna seize space here and in the center. When you dislodge knight from c6, then you get this in a better version. This I can honestly, I cannot possibly believe this is any good. If they ever play this. Okay, let's go knight d2, just normal positional stuff. Because the bishop now hits this and I have a free center. And I can just never believe this is any good for black. Of course it's still playable, it's not like I'm winning or anything. But the whole setup is supposed to be wrong. Okay, let's just make a normal move. Bishop d3. If they go h5, this should hang after knight h2, right? Wow, f5. Why am I not winning here immediately? There has to be some tactics, no? Maybe not. How is there no winning tactics? Okay, let's give a check first, see what happens. Then I get the 6 entry square at some point. Let's take this. Okay, rook e6, there is knight f8. But still, I want the knight on f8, I guess. And then I'm gonna go rook e2 and double the rooks. Even though there is nothing concrete, strategically it looks extremely, extremely bad for black. Go here. My knight on d2 needs a better square, but it will find it, I'm pretty sure. If they ever go d5, then I get the e5 square. Also not ideal for black. And my king is quite safe. So. That could change if I don't play this in a good way. But I'm not afraid, honestly. My pieces are much better placed for opening of the position, I think, than my opponents. Okay, queen h4. Maybe what I did was wrong. I wouldn't be surprised. That I completely misevaluated all of this stuff. Oh well. Okay, rook h5, then I'm gonna have to go g3. To stop my opponent from going g3, of course. Because g3, there was queen h1 mate later on. Okay, this, I guess, works for me. Now my opponent's king should also start feeling some pressure. Let's go queen f7 first. I think I can take this next move, and there is also rook e8 if needed. So knight g5 exists, unfortunately. Let's go here then. I have no idea what I'm doing, honestly. This actually hangs on b5. No. I want to create some passed pawn, but it's not the right plan now. But I only have 14 seconds. So. Okay, let's take this. Let's go knight d3. Try to remove my king from the danger zone. Okay, now I guess I should take stuff. And now I lose some time, of course. So congratulations to my opponent. They've definitely played this quickly. So yeah, these positions are always very good, but yeah, knight f4 I cannot really believe it. Strategically it's just wrong for black. And then it's just a matter of technique. There was nothing concrete here actually, which is surprising. Every opening of the position should be good. Was it supposed to? Yeah, I was supposed to go h4 at some point. I've seen this, but I don't know. I just wanted to bring all the pieces into play. Everything I played was actually not so bad. All the time. Was all the time quite fine. But of course they always have better mouse potential than me, and they actually care about winning, and I don't. So. Okay, this is game 15. This is going to be the last game, I think, for today. And we get the Philidor, which is quite suitable. And we get the Rook G1 Philidor. I think we've only had this once, the rook g1 Philidor, and then I mouse slipped bishop e3, king e7. And now I'm gonna play bishop e7. We were finally going to get the actual line. Okay, after a4, what was the move? Queen c7 or queen a5? Would be good if I remembered. I think it was queen a5. Yeah, then there was knight d2, and I think we went knight f8. Or was it g5 first? I think we went knight f8 first. Might be wrong. And then after knight c4 to just go queen c7, and then later on knight g6 or g5 knight g6. With still a very interesting position, of course. There's also knight e6, which might be an idea. And actually, most of the players go h4 here, not knowing bishop e3. Bishop e3 is the best move. And after h4, black is immediately fine, maybe even more than fine. But unfortunately, my opponent in this game knows some theory here. Let's go knight g6 and bring this knight. Bring this knight here. Maybe play with increment? Nah, there are more engine users there, I guess. At least that was the case before when I played more on Lichess. Not sure if anything has changed. Yeah, this one, I'm not sure if knight b5 is a problem. Okay, I'm just gonna go bishop d7 then. Because then after cd there is no more this, and after a6 I think I can go b5. Or if not b5, then I'll take on d5. The position is very interesting and unstandard. Queen d2, that hangs g4 though. Knight g4, can he take rook g4, go some a6 or something? You know, I don't really believe it, so I'll take, because if he doesn't sacrifice the exchange, then I'll take on e3 and go bishop g5, and that seems really good. Even though they can, for example, long castle, and then if I take fe, block all of this, so my king should be safe. Anyway, this is probably more dangerous. Still a6, there is b5 maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna castle now. Just need to bring the king to safety. This is now a problem. They cannot take cd. At least not yet. Opponent is fighting for the d5 square. So... okay, there's also knight h4. I didn't see that move before. It looks at least interesting, so let's try it. Bishop e2 they have to play. Then I have a choice between knight f3 and knight g2. Both look at least decent. Yeah, I'm not playing online chess now either. It's just I just do it sometimes for this weekly workout, and that's it. And everything looks quite winning, honestly. Okay, let's go here. This will actually give up the d5 square, but my opponent will also have many hanging things. Now I'm not worried anymore. Maybe I should be. No, but bc I can include queen g4. I was a bit scared of bc knight e5. bc I guess I can go queen g4 for checkmate. through here. I mean, I need open files for my rook, or rooks, because I have more rooks than my opponent. So let's just start taking some stuff. Good, this will help. Now I'll probably actually win on time, not lose on time. But who knows? No, actually I might lose. I played this in such a horrible way. That's because I was trying to not get flagged, I guess. Let's go here. Yeah, this was a decent game, I think. It showed... Actually, usually when they play h4, then you get a very funny position, and also an objectively equal one for black. And with bishop e3, white still has some advantage, like 0-3, 0-4, and tap tangents. But yeah, this is like with knight d2. It was not knight f8, it was queen b4. Or did we... No, I think we gave d5 in this position, actually. I'm not sure. Really. I'll have to check this one in the course because it's a rare sideline, but even what I played was absolutely playable, and yeah, it was winning for me after move like 10 or 15, which usually happens when I play these lines. In most of these games I'm quite winning very early on. Okay. This was the last game. Thanks to everyone who was watching. I hope you learned something. We had some new lines today, and I'm going to rate you to someone when I find someone to rate you to. Come on. Oh, come on. Yeah, thanks, Gemini. This part will be on YouTube quite soon, and then I'll make this video this week, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, about all the games I played on the course. I played with the course over the board, how I dealt with, how, for example, Mamadjaro Verigaishi dealt with the course, how some average GMs dealt with it, some FMs, and so on. And then I'll see if I'll keep doing the 1d6 weekly workout or not. Anyway, thanks everyone once again, and bye.